𝐂𝐻𝐌𝐌𝐔𝐍𝐈𝐓𝐾 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paravijakacharya Asto Tadas Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paravijakacharya Asto Tadas Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Sri Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prayam Se Kao Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Gaur Premanandi All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sanyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, good morning. Thank you for coming. Today's class in the beautiful Bhagavatam. It's text 37, right? 10th canto, chapter 63, text 37. Tawavataro yam akuntadamam dharmasya guptyai jagato hithaya vayam cha sarve bhutanam bhuvatita vibhavayo yamo bhuvane sapta Tawarat, what Taroyam akuntadaman dharmasya guptyai jagato hitaya Vayam cha sarve bhavat hanubu bhavati vibhava yamo bhuvani sapta avataro yam akuntadaman dharmasya guptyai jagato hitaya Vayam cha sarve bhavat tanu bhavatita vibhavayamo mano bhuvanani sapta Others? Tava, your avatara, descent, ayam, this, akunta, unrestricted, daman, O you whose power, dharmasya, of justice, guptyai, for the protection, jagataha, of the universe, hitaya, for the benefit, bayam, we, cha, also, sarve, all, bhavata, by you, anubhavati vikaha, enlightened and authorized, bhivav, bhihav, bhihavayatma, yama, we manifest and develop, bhuvanani, the worlds, sapta, seven, translation, your current descent into the material realm, O Lord of unrestricted power, is meant for upholding the principles of justice and benefiting the entire universe. We demigods, each depending on your grace and authority, develop the 7 planetary systems. So I say, and you can repeat, your current descent into the material realm, O Lord of unrestricted power, is meant for upholding Radha Vrindavan Eshwari Brishabhanu Stute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhupevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So once again the verse, your current descent into the material realm, O Lord of unrestricted power, is meant for upholding the principles of justice and benefiting the entire universe. We demigods, each depending on your grace and authority, develop the 7 planetary systems. So, we see Lord Shiva offering deep respects to Lord Krishna. So, for those, sometimes we see people who see that, or who believe that Lord Shiva is the supreme absolute. And yet, if we accept Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that that's not the truth. Lord Shiva is recognizing someone who's a higher power than him. Why would he say to Krishna that you're a higher power? He says, your current descent into the material realm, so you're not a person of this world. He's recognizing that. You're not just a person who lives here on the earth. Like the rest of us, we live here on the earth. I'm a demigod. I belong somewhere else. But no, you've descent. Your current descent into the material realm, O Lord of unrestricted power. So he's recognizing Krishna has unrestricted power. Now this is important. If Krishna were a demigod, he would have some restricted power. All demigods have restricted power. Even Lord Shiva says that in this verse. He goes on, that your descent is meant for upholding the principles of justice and benefiting the entire universe. I'll get back to that point. But then he goes on to say, we demigods, each depending on your grace and authority, develop the 7 planetary systems. We depend on your grace and authority. Well, that's pretty clear. That's pretty easy to understand, isn't it? My dear Lord, you've descended here. You have unrestricted power. You've come for the benefit of the whole planetary system. And I depend on your grace and your authority. So he's yielding all authority to Lord Krishna. So this verse right here, spoken by Lord Shiva, if someone accepts Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you get into a discussion with someone talking about the position of Lord Shiva as being the ultimate supreme personality, you can say, do you accept the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam? If they say no, then say, well, I do, and go on. Useless to argue. But if they say, oh yes, Srimad Bhagavatam 𝐂𝐻𝐿𝐉𝐉, well then, all right, well right here, Lord Shiva is saying this to Krishna. Why would he say that? You see, it's very obvious. See, it's not necessary for us to get into these arguments very often. If you find someone in your preaching efforts and they're believing that Lord Shiva is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, best you let them believe that. You can maybe say, well, Srimad Bhagavatam says this, but you go with what you believe. We don't want to disturb their faith. Sometimes when I travel, I meet an Indian family. Sometimes I stay in a motel owned by an Indian family, and they're, at least the husband, the father, is very much a devotee of Shiva. And I never get into the discussion. Yes, Shiva is your Lord, Krishna is my Lord. Very good. I don't say, well, I think my God could beat your God up. You know, if it was in a fight, Krishna would win. Why would I say that? Why do we want to irritate? You see, we don't want to cause any irritation. That's not the nature of the devotee. You know, we want to speak soothing words. That doesn't mean we're like politicians. Politicians say soothing words to make you feel good so that they'll get your vote or some money. You donate some money to their campaign fund. So they'll tell you, oh, you're very handsome. Your wife, oh, she is very beautiful. And it doesn't have to be true. You see, he's just saying. But the devotee says pleasing words that are the truth. I mean, what are the 4 regulative principles? The first one doesn't have to be the first, but let's start out with truthfulness. Right? So that's a principle. Now, think about this. Is the principle to avoid gambling or to be truthful? Or both? What do you think? It's both, isn't it? So, in order to help you, in order to open the door to being truthful, abandon gambling. Can you do that? If you can do that, then you can go through that door into becoming truthful, honest. So, now think about this. If I don't gamble, but I'm not truthful, am I breaking the principles? Yeah. We don't think enough about that, do we? I'm abandoning eating meat because I want to open the door to being merciful. Right? So if I don't eat meat, but I'm not merciful, am I breaking the principles? Yeah. You see? Illicit sex. We give up illicit sex so that we can become clean. If we abandon illicit sex, but we're dirty in so many other ways, there's so many other ways we can be dirty. But that's the first step. Abandon illicit sex. Then you can become clean. It opens the door. That's your commitment to cleanliness. Abandoning eating of meat is your commitment to mercy. Giving up gambling is your commitment to being truthful. So, you have to think like these things go together. Austerity. How can you be austere if you take intoxication? You know, when people become intoxicated, they think, hey, shouldn't we clean the house? Yeah, maybe, but we'll do that later. Right now, let's have fun. So I lose austerity when I become intoxicated. What if I abandon intoxication, but I'm still not austere? You see? I should be austere. Austere means doing the things that should be done. Maybe you don't want to do them right now. It's like many of you are students, right? Or were, right? Students? College? You were? Yeah? Yeah, a lot of you. Okay. So you have a test coming and you have to study, right? That's an austerity. You don't want to study. I'd rather go on Harinam. I'd rather go to the cricket game. But I have to. Someone says, hey, you want to go to the cricket match? Prabhu, no, I've got to study. I've got to do the austerity. I've got to do the jagya. I'm going to do, as a matter of fact, I might be doing the jagya all night long just so I don't want to, but I want to pass this test. So I'll do the austerity. I'll do the yajna. Right? So, but if you can't do yajna, but you don't get intoxicated, okay, good for you. You don't get intoxicated. You don't eat meat. You don't have illicit sex, and you don't gamble. But you're dishonest. You're unmerciful. You're unclean, and you're not austere. Something is wrong with that picture. So we have to remember like that, isn't it? So, this is I find this particularly interesting. Lord Shiva is saying that your current descent, O Lord of unrestricted power, I like that. That's beautiful, isn't it? Lord Shiva can speak with such poetic words. O Lord of unrestricted power. But your descent is meant for upholding the principles of justice and benefiting the entire universe. Wow. Now, in other words, he didn't just come to help you, right? Or the three of you, or just this association here, right? No, Lord Krishna comes to benefit the entire universe. What if I have a desire for Krishna that's not beneficial to the whole universe? It's just beneficial to me. Is that all right? Is it? Jai Sri Sri Gaurnitai. So what do you think? I have a desire. It's not beneficial for everybody, but it's my desire. Is that good? No, it's my desire. That may be pious. At least I go to God. My dear God, I want some boon. Please give me this. Dear Krishna, give me this. So that's pious. That's like Krishna says, four types of pious people approach. Well, one of them just wants money. And Krishna says that's pious. You say, hey God, you've got money. I want some. You're the source of all wealth. Throw some my way. You got a really big wallet. Put some right there. I got faith that you can fill my hand with gold. You're the source of gold. Now that's pious, isn't it? Krishna says it is. Not very loving. I mean, it's not bhakti. But it's a step in the right direction. I'm recognizing, my dear Lord, why you're the source of all sources. And I'm greedy. I'm not going to somebody else. I'm not going to the demigods. I'm going to you. You're the source. Fill it up. I'll get a big bowl and I'll put it in a bucket, a barrel, and you fill it full of gold. Because I know you can do it. I have faith that you can give me money. You know, that's pious. Someone may be desperate. Oh, my dear God, I have no place to turn. I have no friends. I have no one that I can depend on but you. Please help me. Krishna says, that's pious. You're desperate and you're coming to me. Why, that's very nice. You see? Still not bhakti, but pious. And someone may be curious. Hey, what's this all about? Hey, God, tell me about this spiritual thing that you've got. I'm curious. You got my curiosity. I saw your devotees in the street. They were chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now I'm curious. What's this all about? You see, that's pious. Still not bhakti. But it's a step in the right direction, isn't it? And then some people are just sincerely looking for the absolute truth. And that's pious. Not really bhakti yet, though, is it? I'm looking for the absolute. I want answers about you, my Lord. I want to know about you. I want to come to know you. I really want to know you. You know, so, yeah, that's really pious, but still not bhakti, is it? But we're heading in the right direction. So I think all of us go through that, don't we? We go through those steps. Perhaps when we hear this Krishna conscious philosophy, we make a decision that I think that this would be the best thing for me. Why, to become a devotee of Krishna would be good for me, isn't it? That's intelligent. Still not bhakti. But I'm still looking out for me. And I'm smart. And I'm thinking, whoa, I think that if I become a devotee of Krishna, If I associate with these devotees of Krishna, then that will be good for me. I will benefit. Why, I may even go back home, back to Godhead, because that would be really good for me. You see? So, you see how we're heading in the right direction, but we're still not doing bhakti. I'm still the center. You know? It's like I say this a lot when I'm giving a class. I look at this room and I see all these beautiful faces. So what if I take and make a snapshot? I take a picture. And then when I pass the picture around, who's the first person you're going to look for? You're not going to look for me? We're not going to look for Krishna, are we? We're not going to look for Gaura-Nitai. We're going to look for ourselves. We're still the center of our universe. It's all about me. Not only that, it's all about my body. I'm going to look for this old, decrepit body. You see? That's still not bhakti. But we're heading in the right direction, aren't we? So, you may be wondering, well, when do we actually get to bhakti? When can I say, okay, now I'm performing bhakti yoga? Now, in some of the youth preaching in America right now, in a lot of the preaching in America right now, they will they'll try to assemble people for kirtan, maybe really easygoing kirtan, different things, and sometimes they'll use that term. This is the bhakti club. So the people that go there and chant, where's the bhakti? Did they bring bhakti with them? No. You see, so we sometimes use that bhakti a little loosely, don't we? So, but if we're sincere, let's tighten up that definition of bhakti. My own personal opinion is, let's not call it the bhakti club unless we're really giving them bhakti, training them for bhakti. Some people may say, oh yeah, someday we're down the line, we'll teach them about bhakti, you know. But let's call it something else, you see. We'll get them ready for bhakti. Let's not cheapen that term, bhakti. It's not a cheap term. This is very important. Bhakti will get you back home, back to Godhead. It'll get you in tune with yourself, your real self. You see? Not your body. Your real self. When you're performing bhakti yoga, you're really looking out for your self-interest by looking out for Krishna's interest. But you're not interested in your self-interest. You're interested in making Krishna happy. My dear Lord, what is it that you want? You see? It's pious to say, my dear God, please give me today my daily bread. That's like saying, hey God, give me some money. I can go buy bread if you give me money. If you don't want to give me money, give me bread. Maybe some chapati. Pakoras and some chutney would be good. Some rice and dal. Paneer sabji. You know. Maybe later, if you come back, maybe you can make some dosa. You see, that's pious, isn't it? But I'm still asking you to serve me. You know, I'm thinking of you, God. Well, I'm thinking of you, but I'm thinking of what you can do for me, and that is not bhakti. It's very pious. It's not bhakti. You know? I mean, if you're going to ask for daily bread, you might as well ask for rice dal chapatis, paneer sabji, dosa, you know, papri chaat, later with papri chaat. Well, pani puri, you can bring pani puri. Krishna, I hear your pani puri is the best. So, you see, well, we have to get out of that. We have to, my dear Lord, you've given me and given me and given me. You've given me everything for the eternity that I've been in this material world. You've been my order supplier. You've given everything. I'm starting to feel some feelings of love for you. I'm not at Krishna Prema yet, but I'm starting to feel some love, and I feel grateful. I'm feeling gratitude. I feel in my heart that I really want to do something for you. I want to know what you want of me. That's what Lord Shiva is saying here. Krishna comes, this descent into the material realm is meant for upholding the principles of justice and benefiting the entire universe. That's why Krishna's coming. He's not coming to see that you're well fed. He'll take care of you. Don't worry. You'll get papri chaat. There's plenty of dosa to go around. Krishna will take care of you. You know. You find yourself here in this particular temple. We have, 36 cows? How many? 25 cows. And so I'm sure there's plenty of paneer. Isn't? Right? So Krishna's taking care of you. Even before you think, I want this, Krishna's, I've got a menu planned for you. Right? So you don't have to ask him to feed you. He feeds the birds. Right? I don't think they ask him, can you give me my daily seeds? My daily worms? Oh God, please give me my daily worm. You know, I don't think so. The cows are saying, oh, Lord, can you give me my daily grass? It's there, everything is eating. There's this harmony that's going on. Krishna is taking care of all living entities, no matter how much we human beings try to goof it up. We're always trying to mess it up with our own self-greedy interest. You see? I'll hoard more for me than is my share and cause some distress on others. That happens. It's been happening since the beginning of this, since time immemorial, you see. But Lord Shiva is recognizing that you come to uphold the principles of justice. Justice is meant for everyone. If it's not justice for all, it's not justice, is it? If I say I want you to be just with me, but that will cause him difficulty, that's unjust. Isn't it? Justice is for you and me. It's for all of us. So this is the mind of Krishna. I favor no one, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. I favor no one. I want all of you to have justice. I want all of you to receive my mercy. Every one of you. I mean, you may pray to me for your mercy, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. But it's very wonderful that you come to me wanting my mercy. But that mercy should be, at least once in a while, my dear Lord, give me the mercy of telling me what I can do to you. What can I do to serve you? Boy, that is an important question, isn't it? It's very easy for me to think what I want from him. I can make a big long list. But how do I know what to do for him? I need his help, right? So that's the mercy that we want. Give me that mercy. Tell me, what is it that you want me to do? How can I serve you? So if I can get my own personal self-interest out of the way, I can look for benefiting the entire universe. That's what Krishna wants. Lord Shiva's recognizing that's why he comes, to benefit all living entities, not just you. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't break your heart. You know? But I thought Krishna was coming just for me. No, he's coming for all living entities. So we want to be part of that. Krishna's got this plan to benefit all living entities. I want to be in harmony with Krishna's desires. I'm his part and parcel, you see. I want to be with him. I want to be part of his team, you see. Why, the devotee thinks that when Krishna wants something done, I hope he calls on me. You see? I'm ready. I'm ready to go, Krishna. Just tell me, what is it? What is it? How can I serve? So, does Krishna tell us how we can serve, what he wants? What do you think? He tells us through Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. He's talking to you. Spiritual master will tell you how to serve Krishna. The spiritual master may not tell you very often how you can serve you. What do you think? No? No, he's going to give you this mercy. You can serve in this way, and you can serve in this way. You see, sadhus, Shastra will tell. We can understand. Why, we know what Lord Chaitanya's mission is, right? Don't we know? We know why Lord Chaitanya, what does he want? He wants to save all living entities. Not just you, but all living entities. Not just the human beings. So that's easy to figure out. So let's take up some activity to save all living entities and get them to chanting Hare Krishna and going back to Godhead. Let's get them to come in and become part of this ISKCON family. Let's engage them in devotional service. Let's teach them what the true meaning of bhakti is. It's not some fancy, popular, hip word. It's getting like that in the United States. Are they doing that in India as well? It seems like sometimes in the United States, the bhakti thing that they use is kind of cheap because they don't talk about bhakti. Bhakti is a very high, loving feeling. Why, my dear Lord, I love you so much, I'll do anything for you. Gee whiz, I just forgot all about me and what I want. I'll do anything for you. That means, what does it Krishna ask you to do all through Bhagavad Gita, again and again, chapter after chapter, Krishna's asking you to surrender. Surrender unto me. I will deliver you. You surrender to me, I'll take care of everything. You have no worries. I'll preserve everything you have, and I'll supply whatever you lack. So I've got a plan for you. But you can't access Krishna's superb, perfect plan for you unless you surrender to it. You go to Krishna and say, oh, Krishna, I want this, 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 this. You know, I want a wife and 2.3 children. It's about the average, isn't it? 2.3, 2.5 children. It's about the average. I don't know. It used to be. I want a nice BMW. Really big house. Don't worry. If you give me a big house, I'll put up an altar. Well, I'll give a whole room. If you make the house big enough, I'll put a whole room in there and a marble altar for you. And I'll have my servants change your clothes and cook for you. You give me the big house. You know, it's not really bhakti, is it? But it's pious. It is. It is pious. It's very nice. So if we practice this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, if we associate with the sadhus, and we read Shastra and listen to the instructions of the spiritual master, we will come someday, guaranteed, to the level of bhakti. And if you continue that, you'll come, it's guaranteed, you'll come to pure bhakti, pure love of Godhead. You will achieve Krishna Prem. That's a guarantee. This ISKCON can deliver that to you. So, are there any questions, comments, criticisms? Is this a criticism? No, I'm just kidding.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, as you were explaining that no one should ask, means devotee, if he wants to practice bhakti, he should not ask anything from Krishna. So like when we go through some difficult situation, so should we pray to Krishna to resolve our problems? That is one thing. And we see that in Mahabharata, when Draupadi, when she was in a great distress, when she was being insulted in that assembly, so she prayed to Krishna for protection. So will that be considered as bhakti, Draupadi's activity?
Yes, there's sometimes we can pray for protection. When Srila Prabhupada was very ill, just before he left his body, the devotees asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, can we pray to Krishna to save you? And Prabhupada said, yes, but you say like this, our dear Krishna, please save Srila Prabhupada if it is your desire. In other words, that's bhakti. I want this only if that's part of your plan. First and foremost, I want your plan, my Lord. And if protection is part of your plan for me, then I want that. But I'm willing to take whatever is your desire. That's the best thing for me. Does that answer the question? It's good. And sometimes we may be so desperate and we say, dear Lord, please protect me. I have nowhere to turn but you. The gopis know that they have nothing but Krishna. We think I have all these resources and Krishna too. Now, as we advance in our bhakti yoga, we'll realize I don't have any. These resources are temporary. You know, I can't keep them. But I have Krishna for eternity. And that's all I need. If I have Krishna, I have everything. Sometimes I see people preaching in other parts of the world, and they decide to soften the preaching, you see. So let's not give them Krishna, because that might offend them. Let's talk about the Supreme. Or it's very popular in America to refer to Source. So we talk about the Source and the Supreme. But I'm not giving you Krishna. Now, Krishna is everything, right? Who can argue with that? So if you leave out Krishna, you're leaving out everything. Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I understand that. But that's just the way I see it. Give them Krishna. Oh, but what if they become offended? You be their friend. Give them your love. Give them your respect. And give them Krishna. They won't be offended. One thing is, when you're preaching, one thing that people will believe quicker, one thing that will give them more confidence in what you say is your conviction. If you're convinced of this Krishna consciousness, if you're convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then they're more likely to become convinced. Because you know what? Who else is convinced? The people who were just preaching about Source and the Supreme and the powers of the universe, are they as convinced as you are about the Supreme Personality of Godhead? No, they're not. You're convinced. Everyone else has at least a hint of speculation in there. You see? And that conviction helps convince them. Because this philosophy has convinced you. Therefore, I think it can convince me as well. So, any more questions? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. So my doubt is like, of course, we understand like we have to do pure devotional service. Uh, we don't have to desire anything for ourselves and material things. And but when we are talking to someone or maybe preaching, then that time shall we talk about pure devotional service only, or like you have told about the four kind of pious people, so we can talk about material things as well, like you will get this, you will get that. So this is my doubt.
I think you can put in a little bit of you'll get this and you'll get that when you're preaching. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, a little bit. Like this. Do you believe in life after death? Well, yes. What do you want that to be like? What will it look like? Why, I don't know. Maybe I'll go merge into the light. Oh, that's very interesting. What will you get when you get there? What will it be like? Why, it will be peaceful. Oh, so you get Shanti. That's very wonderful. So this destination of yours sounds very wonderful. Very good. You're in the light and you're very peaceful. What will you do for love? Can you give up love? Can you renounce love? What will you do for association? If you're not embodied or have no personality, if you believe in personal void, the impersonal Brahman, that means you are impersonal. Does that answer your question? So,
Actually,
and then you say, you know, if we approach the personal aspect of Krishna, the Supreme Personality, why then we get personal loving exchange. and we get to live in his home, which is very wonderful, very beautiful, very attractive. And it's very personal, very loving. So, in a way, we're saying you can get some really good stuff if you approach Krishna. That's true. That's not misleading. Somewhere along the way, as they chant and they associate with you, they're going to come to the platform of bhakti. Just take a little time. That's okay. It'll take some time. The main thing is they need to see that you genuinely care for them. Not that you're just trying to browbeat them into taking your word for it, or I want you to see that I'm more advanced spiritually than you. That's not going to work. They'll say, oh yeah? No. You could even tell them, okay, let's accept that you're more spiritually advanced than me. Ask them questions. What is your destination? Where do you see that you will go with your spiritual practice? And what will it be like? Could you describe it to me? Because I might be interested too. And let them, I found when I'm talking with impersonalists, the more I get them to speak, they end up tripping up in their own words. You just keep asking questions. Oh, so according to what you're saying, it's going to be impersonal, but yet very peaceful. Is that enough? Well, what else is there? I don't know. What about love? What are you going to do for love? Well, it'll be there. I've had them say, oh, love will be there. Well, who's there? What's lovable about them? What's lovable about the place? Now, I agree with you. It's going to be a lot of shanti. We're going to have a lot of peace. And you're going to realize your eternality. You're going to realize your sat feature. Cheat. But where's the Ananda going to come from? Are you confusing Ananda with Shanti? Just because you're peaceful, does that mean you're blissful? Think about it. I don't think so. Becoming peaceful is setting the threshold for happiness. Krishna says, how can there be any happiness without peace? So you get Shanti, then you can have Ananda. No Shanti, hard to have Ananda. Stop at Shanti, you're not going to get any Ananda. It doesn't just come. See? Does that make any sense?
Means from the beginning only we can talk about pure devotional service. There is no issue. And regarding material things, of course we can talk. Those things are there on the way. We can talk like that.
Yeah. Yeah. As they move along, all they need is a taste of this Krishna consciousness. Then they can start to understand this pure devotional service. If you give them Krishna, if you leave Krishna out, they'll never understand it. How can I be in love with Source? You're not telling me anything about it except it gives us a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I can be thankful that it gives me stuff, but what's the love? What does this Source look like? Does it smile? How does that Source, first of all, does the Source feel? And how does it feel about me? Does the source ever get happy? If I make the source happy, will it give me more stuff? So in other words, you're establishing some personal relationship between you and the source. Let's give the source a name. Let's give the source a face, a form, and attributes, pastimes. And as soon as you give them enough of that, they're going to develop a little taste of love. Now they're on their way to bhakti. Just give them whatever they need to take step by step. Now, some people, it'll take a long time. Some people, they'll go there just like that. I've seen it. In a short time, hardly any time. Why, they're chanting Hare Krishna. There was this one boy that came around in Tucson. I left India, went back to the United States for 2 months. And while I was there, this one boy started coming. And he was dressed in robes, and he had markings like a Shivite. And he says, I'm disciple of Shiva. And I said, oh, that's very good. Shiva's great devotee. We have all love and respect for Lord Shiva. Oh, why do you come to us? Why are you coming here to these programs? I like the kirtan. Oh, the prasadam is great too. Okay, very good. Let's chant, then we'll eat. And so after hearing, and hearing, he started dancing in kirtan. He started leaping in kirtan. And then one day, just before I left, about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, he showed up wearing bright Vaishnava tilak. Now he's getting a taste. Now he's thinking, maybe I need a guru. I like what you people do. This is very wonderful. You see, he became, as Prabhupada said, he becomes infected. You infect him with the holy name. You see, you infect him with your conviction. We're convinced. We're sold out. We know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You see, we know it. So now he's so beautiful. He's wearing this bright, very bright Vaishnava tilak. His whole demeanor has changed. His complexion is brighter. He's happy. I think someday he'll become a leader. But we didn't let down anything that we gave him. We didn't say, oh, if we're going to save this boy, maybe we shouldn't mention Krishna so much because he's a Shivite. No, we continued. If anything, we give him more Krishna. In a loving way. When they taste that you love them, then they want to be part of the family. Where else do you think they get love? ISKCON is the reservoir of love. There may be other reservoirs, but I don't know. I can't say for sure. There must be, but I know it's here. You know, after 50 years, I can say, yes, it is here. So, anything else? Jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.